Hi friends, my name is Stacy, for those of you who don't know me, and I am the one who wrote 21 Days to Finding Purpose in Pain. And this video is the first video in the 21 Days to Finding Purpose in Pain challenge. So I'm really excited that all of you signed up. And if you're watching this video and you haven't signed up yet and you want to be a part of the challenge, we would absolutely love to have you. Basically what we're doing is we're spending these first 21 days in May going through my new ebook devotional. And I'm still trying to figure out the format and how I want to do it. If there's going to be videos for every day or if there's just going to be a mix of videos and discussion questions. But, you know, we'll just kind of go with whatever God wants, and I'm still trying to discern that at this point. So, for right now, we're starting out with a video format. But the main thing is I want to give a safe place where you're able to kind of share those hard times and those challenging things that you're going through with other people and just be able to be an encouragement to one another, but also not be afraid that, you know, all of your friends and family on the internet are seeing your business. So in order to do that, I've set up a private Facebook group, and so only members of that private Facebook group are going to be able to see the things that you post. So I would absolutely love to have you join. I'll make sure that there's links below this video on the blog post for the private Facebook group. The other thing, too, is, you know what, I just realized I totally should have explained, if you're not familiar at all with the ebook, what it is. It's a 21-day devotional. It's a mix of God's Word. It's a mix of my own stories and experiences, and then kind of a closing prayer for each day. And it's designed to help you seek God through hard times in life. So anyways, if you are going through a difficult situation, or you've gone through a difficult situation, or you know someone going through a difficult situation, we would just absolutely love to have you join us. Like I said, we'll be discussing daily in the Facebook group. I also have free printables available with the verse of the day that you can access from my blog, so make sure you get those too. It's my free gift to you. And all you really need to participate is just to get a copy of the ebook. It's available on Amazon.com, and it's $3.99, so it's a pretty good deal. It's kind of like going to Starbucks. So, anyways, I'm so excited to have you all participating, and I just can't wait to see what God does and how we're able to just really be a blessing and an encouragement to each other. So, today is the first day of the challenge, and the reading for today is the introduction and day 1. So if you want to go ahead and read that and then come back, so pause your video, go read the introduction and day 1, and then come back, and I'm going to be discussing it a little bit. So the introduction kind of starts out with probably one of the worst days of my entire life. It was February 15th, and I know that's random that I would remember the date, but I'm like one of those weird people that remembers dates, and I know it was the day after Valentine's Day. So I remembered the date, but just to give you a little background, slight background to my story, I'm 30 years old, and I've had severe chronic pain since I was 11 years old, so it's been 19 years. And it's primarily from the age of 20 until now, or really 29, my pain was just absolutely out of control. It was severe. I continued to go to doctors. I tried every medication under the sun. I tried every alternative treatment under the sun, and things just got worse and worse and worse. And so I kind of take you back to a day a little over 2 years ago where it was just sort of I had reached a breaking point. And you can kind of read more in depth about that day and sort of what happened. But, you know, the gist of it is that honestly in the car I screamed at God. I asked him why he hated me. Because I couldn't understand why on earth would he let me suffer this way if he didn't hate me. And then I told him I just wanted to die. And that is probably, you know, for some of you that might be a startling thing to imagine ever screaming that at God. And to be quite honest, after I had screamed it, I was a little shocked that I had said it too, but I kind of was relieved because truly it had been years and years building up of wondering and questioning and pushing it down, these feelings that I had about why are you just letting me go through this? So I kind of start the book out in that place because I want people to understand the place that I was in. I was completely and utterly hopeless and helpless, and I had no expectation whatsoever that things would ever change in my life, that things would ever get better. I'd given up all hope completely whatsoever. And the reason I started my story in that place is because I know that there are people watching this video, and I know that there are people reading this book right now that are exactly in that place. Maybe your marriage is a train wreck. Maybe your children have turned away from everything you've raised them to believe. Maybe you went to the doctor and you just got the worst diagnosis possible. There's any number of situations where we find ourselves in this place where we just literally can't even muster up any hope. You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can't even see a glimmer of light. And I understand that place. And the reason why I wanted to start my story in that place is to show you that you can come from that place to a place of purpose, to a place of finding God's purpose in the midst of whatever circumstance or situation that you're in. It's possible. And so what I want to speak directly to is, if you are in that place right now, today, where you're completely hopeless, you're completely helpless, you have, you can't even muster up any hope, I just want to encourage you. And I just want you to look at me and to look at my story and to see that if God could take the ashes of my life and make any beauty come from it whatsoever, that he can absolutely do the exact same thing in your life. And so I just want to encourage you today, and that's the whole reason I struggled with, should I really get that real in the story? Should I open up the book with that story? But I think that it absolutely needs to be in there, and it needs to be the very first thing to kind of just get it out there and just say, hey, look, it can be real bad and real yucky, and life can be real messy, and God can do beautiful things with it. So that's kind of where the introduction starts off, and then I go into day one. And day one is sort of a continuation of that theme, where I talk about this concept of, I'm sure you've heard the phrase, God won't give you more than you can handle. And can I just say, like, I don't know who came up with that, but it just drives me nuts every time that I hear it. And the hard thing is, I understand it. I understand that people are just trying to say something encouraging to you when you're going through this really rough time and they don't really know what else to say. And people have, like, the most wonderful intentions in saying that to you and trying to encourage you and just, you know, like, oh, it's not that bad. You know, God won't give you more than you can handle. Everything's okay. But can I just say that as a person who spent literally a decade in circumstances that were very much more than I could handle, it just made me feel really terrible about myself. It made me feel like, oh my goodness, I must be the worst Christian in the world, because guess what? This situation, it actually is more than I can handle. And the fact of the matter is, if you really stop and think about it, you know that it's not a true statement. I mean, go talk to, you know, I mean, obviously you can't really go talk to someone now probably, but somebody who lived through the Holocaust, go tell them, yeah, God won't give you more than you can handle. Go talk to a mother who's buried her child and tell her, God won't give you more than you can handle. Go talk to a woman who's raising 5 kids by herself because her husband walked out on her and tell her, God won't give you more than you can handle. It's disingenuous. It's not true. It's just simply a lie. And I understand scripturally where people kind of point to this particular verse in 1 Corinthians 10:13 and say, well, that's why God won't give you more than you can handle. That's where it comes from biblically. So I'm going to read that verse for you. The verse says, no temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. And here's the deal. If you look at the context of that verse, that's talking about temptation from sin. And I 100% believe that verse, it's in the Bible, that God will not allow us to be tempted to sin beyond what we can handle. Meaning, God's never going to put you in a situation where your only option is sin. And if you find yourself in a situation, and I've been in that place where truly I'm like, Lord, you know, it'd be far easier for me to lie my way out of this situation or sin my way out of this situation, then cry out to him and say, Lord, I need a way out so that I do not sin against you in this circumstance. And according to this verse and the promises of God, you know, are always true, he will come in and he will provide you a way out. But here's the deal. This verse does not tell us we will not be in circumstances that are beyond our ability to handle. And there's another verse in 1 Corinthians 1:8 and 9, where Paul says, we do not want you to be uninformed, brothers and sisters, about the troubles we experience in the province of Asia. We were under great pressure, far beyond our ability to endure. so that we despaired of life itself. Indeed, we felt we had received the sentence of death. But this happened that we might not rely on ourselves, but on God who raises the dead. This is a man who has been in circumstances that are beyond what he can handle. You know, he was under great pressure, as he said, far beyond his ability to endure. He despaired of life itself, and as a person who screamed at God and said, I'd rather be dead, I totally get what it means to despair of life itself. He said, we felt we had received the sentence of death, and maybe you're in a circumstance today where you literally feel like you've received a death sentence, and quite literally you may have. Maybe you've gone to the doctor, and the doctor said, guess what, you have 6 months to live. And you feel that weight on you of, Lord, I have just received a sentence of death in my life. And this verse is saying that happens in life. And it doesn't mean you're a bad Christian. It doesn't mean your faith is weak. It's just life. It is what it is. And so I just want to encourage you today, if you find yourself in a circumstance that is truly beyond what you can handle, like I've been there, other people have been there, you're not a bad Christian, you're not a bad person, and God can absolutely use this. And I believe, and His Word says, the reason He allows us to be in circumstances that are beyond what we can handle is that we might learn to rely not on ourselves, but on God who raises the dead. And I will tell you that there is a dependency on Christ, there is a depth to your faith that you will learn through the hard times in your life that I don't believe you can learn through any other set of circumstances. And it is the hardest thing you'll ever go through, but it's, in the end, can be one of the most beautiful things you'll ever walk through, because there is just a maturity to your walk and a closeness with the Lord that you just can't achieve in any other way. So I just want to encourage you today, if you're starting this study and you are in a place where you feel like the circumstances you face are more than you can handle, God will meet you there. Rely on Him. And He's the God who raises the dead. He's the God who makes beauty from ashes, and He can absolutely do that in your life today. And I encourage you to jump on over to the Facebook group. I'll have some discussion questions, and we can just encourage one another. I'm so excited to have you part of this 21-day journey. If you like this video format with me kind of talking first, and this is super long, and it's because I went through the intro in day one, and each video is not going to be this long. But if you like this, let me know, because I'm totally willing to do this, but if nobody enjoys it, then I won't. So anyways, just give me some feedback as far as that's concerned, and hop on over to the Facebook group, and let's encourage one another. Hope you have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye.